Hi, welcome to your daily tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot here on Astrology Motivation. This is a general tarot card reading for all zodiac signs. In fact, it's for anyone who needs to hear it, even if you don't care or think about or understand tarot or astrology. We are going to go over the astrology for the next 24 hours as well. And so hunker back and sit down, and hopefully you can enjoy the chat. You do have to be subscribed to enjoy the chat. So please do subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you will be able to engage in the live chat, which is always a ton of fun. This is an intuitive reading. I'm going to catch up basically on Talk Shop about just things going on in the channel in the first couple of minutes. And then we're going to get into the astrology, which is really important for you to understand. And then we're going to get into the intuitive tarot card reading. I hope you guys will stick it out. Definitely feel free to skip ahead over the Talk Shop, but please do not, I implore you, do not skip over the astrology. It is so significant and imperative, and it's just essential. Yeah, so how are you guys doing? Feel free. What's up, Jennifer? How are you? Good morning. Feel free. I know it's early. Usually I'm on here a lot later, but I do have to catch a plane at 2:00. I think my boarding time is still around 2 or 1:30. So I do have to catch a plane. So I have to finish packing up. And I wanted to be able to get plenty of time with you guys, so I didn't feel rushed today. So I wanted to start earlier in the morning, and I know that I'll have plenty of time to get done what I need to get done. Hey, Laura, what's up? Snow and Coco, good morning. What's up, Laura? I'm so happy you're getting some beautiful snow. It always filled my heart with joy every time we'd have a snow day, because it felt like the snow gave everybody a unifying reason to just slow the fuck down, put their feet up, and drink some cocoa. And I think it's so important. I feel like a good snow day is almost more of a break than you get at summertime, because it's that real break where you're not expected to be active. Hey, Bambi, it's so good to see you. Hey, beautiful. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. Bambi, you're gorgeous. Have a safe trip. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate that. What's up, Angel? Hey, Dana. Can't wait for Libra. I'm having a rough week. Yeah, so Libra's coming out in just a couple of hours, and it is an interesting week. I'll actually give you the title of it right now. Title of Libra is Let This Happen Slowly. So a big part of the tension that may be happening is you're trying to push things that shouldn't be pushed. In the sky today, and we're going to get into the astrology. What's up, Marby, my beautiful? How was your time with your family? Always the best. Always the best. Being able to spend time with these guys is awesome. If I could, and this is the little Italian in me, I would have them living right next door to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person who really likes the family all on the same block. But my son's doing what he's got to do. His girlfriend's doing what she's got to do. They're young and living their lives. And I love Arizona. I think it's fantastic. So I'm always happy to come out here. I just wish they were closer. But it was great. It was great. I mean, we've legitimately been eating turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and gravy for 5 days. I mean, hello. It's so good. It's so funny. Like, I usually try to take my son out a lot when I'm here, but he hasn't even wanted to even go out. He's like, no, actually, I just want Thanksgiving. It's his favorite kind of food. So he's just been like sucking it down every chance he gets. It feels like a relaxed day, and it is. It's almost like more of a break than you get during the summer. Heartflower, I'm glad you caught me live too. Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate it. So I'm glad you caught me live too. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. Hey, Heartflower. But it is bittersweet. It is. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, your child is doing well, which is awesome. It's all any parent wants, is for their child to do well. But sometimes them doing well brings them a lot of times it brings them away from you. And that's hard. That's hard. Hold on. This is a little schmegma. I apologize. I'm still here. I'm trying to clear it up a little bit. A lot of stuff on my lens. I had to clear my lens. You guys know I am not a videographer. I fail at it all the time. And the problem with me and YouTube, because I love YouTube, is that I'm not a video maker. I'm just an astrologer and spiritual tarot card reader. Like I'm interested in that, and I'd rather take classes in astrology than in learning how to make better videos. You know what I'm like? So, but it's so important to know how to make videos. And Marby, I know you're so good at it. It's natural for you. You're so good at it. And some people are just, because it's interesting. I can only assume it's because you love it and people are interested in it. I am not interested in video making at all. I wish I wish I could just have somebody do it for me, which I can eventually. And it's actually less about finance right now than it is about time, because I don't know what person could help me do it better. I don't know. I got to figure it out. It's just about time. People add a lot of stuff to their introductions and stuff. I don't like stuff like adding introductions to my videos, because the first 30 seconds to the first minute of your video are the most important. They're when you engage people or don't engage people. So I feel like to have some flourishing introduction is stupid. I don't know. Let's talk today, shall we? Let's look at the next 24 hours in astrology right now. And I'll get back to you to speak to your point. Oh, was it Angel? Who was waiting for the Libra? Dana. So to speak to your point, Dana, it is a really tense week. And I'll tell you what, Saturn, which is the energy of restriction, rules, and order, is in the strongest position. Saturn is the energy that has the most favorable aspects to other planets. It's sextile to Venus conjunct Mercury. And it's still trying to Mars, which is still in retrograde. Everything else, like Jupiter has a quincunx to the North Node, and later on it will be square to Venus and Mercury later on this week. Neptune is currently square to Venus and Mercury and square to Mars, which has been going on for a while. Jupiter is semi-square to Uranus. So it's like all the energies that are creative and expansive, they're restricted right now, and Saturn is feeling real good doing all the restrictions. So the tension that I speak to in the Libra reading especially is, please go slow right now, because with Saturn in such a strong position, if you try to resist, you're going to get punished. Like, that's what Saturn does. It disciplines. So it's almost like step on the right steps, take your time, especially if this isn't comfortable for you. Neptune, which is that energy of, the dreamer, is restricted now. It's challenged. It's foggy, especially when it comes to finances and communications or ideas. It's deceptive in a way. Could be deceptive, usually with a square. It's just challenged. It's just foggy. It's not, things aren't clear. So your psychic energy, your psychic ability is not so clear right now. And I think it's because maybe there's so many restrictions that are it's like being enforced now. So the slower you go and the more patience you can muster, the better off you'll be emotionally and like socially, economically. It's like, don't rush things and don't rush into things, because if you do, it will crack or break apart or injure other things around you. It's like sometimes we really want to take that opportunity, right? But the opportunity wasn't really meant for us. And we're rushing into it, but our stubbornness doesn't want to allow us to acknowledge it. And so in order to get it, we end up actually damaging a bunch of things that didn't have to be damaged if we weren't so fucking ambitious. So I would say to you, everybody, this whole week, but especially today, well, this whole week, watch your ambition and watch that your ambition, don't get your ambitions mistaken for your dreams and your purpose. Because if you do, it can actually do damage this week to your purpose because you're stretching too far or pushing too much. And it could especially damage the major tension right now is on that Venus conjunction with Mercury. I mean, it's everything, almost everything is square to it except Saturn, which is sextile to it. You know, so it's like, slow down, because anything else that you try to push could have some major, it could make, I'm not saying you'll never recover from it, but it'll be a pain in the ass and it'll give you challenges. You could be setting yourself up for some long-term responsibilities. FYI, wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? Wrap it up, if you honey, let's do it. But definitely, like I'm saying, don't rush into it. This, I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. Adults are watching. This is not the week to proceed without a condom. Because if you do, that good time that you rushed into will become a lifelong responsibility. That's the energy this week. So if you're a couple that's looking to make more babies, that's great. But if you're not, and you're just looking for something like gratifying right now, and you rush into shit, it is going to have long-term implications on stuff that's actually really important to you. And it won't necessarily be a bad thing, you know, but it will be something that you will be dealing with for a while. And that includes like ways that you rush or push in your relationships. If you just take authority over the situation and rush into something, it will have longer term implications or cause longer term challenges in terms of how you see each other, in terms of how much respect you feel you have for each other. So this is just something that, like, talk, discuss, and do things behave responsibly today and the rest of this week. It's very important. It's very important because Papa Saturn don't play, and he's the one in the best position right now. He is the most powerful energy right now. So you got to play by his fucking rules. And that means take things slow. Keep your standards high. Remain in control of yourself. Be practical. All of those things are going to get you far this week. If you ignore them, I'm not going to say it's all doom and gloom, but it's going to cause major stress. I was so bad at it. Oh, you were? It doesn't look like you were. Your husband is a videographer. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, thank you, honey. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. But I see the quality difference. Not here. I don't count like this because I'm on vacation. I don't have my whole setup. But I do see the quality difference between, especially in the astrology community. I mean, it went from just like, you know, astrologers and actual tarot card readers that had a shop or did readings at their home or on the streets to people who now have like a fucking like actual set in their home, or they're using or renting a set. And you see that it's a set because it's got these huge pillars. I mean, these fucking, this one lady, she's actually gorgeous, but she has this setup where she has these huge crystals. They cost about $2,000 each. $2,000. And it's all backlit perfectly. And I'm like, what kind of fucking astrologer starts off with this kind of money? Because if you've ever been an astrologer or a tarot card reader, you know it's not, you don't get into this shit for the money. You know what I'm saying? Not if you're doing it for the right reasons. If you're a scam artist, sure. If you're Miss Cleo, you got your 800 number. But it's like, where are you getting all this fucking money? Who's backing you? Because like actual astrologers and tarot card readers, we don't have access to that. I mean, some of us are better at videos than others, right? But I mean, like, we don't have that startup. Our early videos look like shit because we don't know this stuff. Like, who the hell is backing you? But a lot of these newer astrology channels, it's like, I mean, shit, it took Tyler, Tyler's Tarot. He's one of the most popular channels here, and for good reason. He's just extraordinarily amusing, entertaining, and he's very gifted. But I mean, I think he just started doing actual professional thumbnails. He's been on here for like 8 years. People who do this aren't sitting there thinking about the fucking set behind them as soon as they start their YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, that to me smells of, corporate figured that, there's a niche here. There's money to be made here. Let me start hiring people to, and that's skeevy to me. I don't fucking like that. It doesn't mean that the reader isn't talented, but it does mean that there's something a little, like readers, you'll see our first videos are they're shit. They look like crap. The readings may not be shit, but they definitely look like crap because it's usually just not where your mind is at. My favorite astrologer is Steve Judd. I recommend people watch his videos all the time. I've even taken 2 of his classes. He's exceptional. What really gets me is he has fewer viewers than me or fewer subscribers. And I hate that. I'm like, I know I'm not as good as him. I know it. So I'm just sitting here like, what are people looking for when they watch astrology? And he doesn't do tarot, but what are people looking for when they watch astrology? What are people looking for? Because it's not quality. It's not quality that you're picking out. And that worries me because I take spirituality so seriously and I know how impactful it is in people's lives. And that's why I got to say to everybody who's watching this, please watch astrology and tarot readings responsibly, because I say this all the time. These cards are just paper. They have no power. These charts that we follow are astronomical. They're scientific. They're the same charts that a scientist would look at, except they wouldn't have a geocentric. They would have a solar centric. They would have a sun centric. But it really is in the person and why they're doing it that is creating the message. And if the message is really from the get-go, my primary goal is to make money, then you got yourself somebody that's working in darkness, not in light. And I'm not talking about that false positivity, because I don't believe in that shit either. But I'm talking about somebody who clearly is on here with the dollar signs in their eyes, first and foremost. Because listen, I love making my money. I love growing my business. I'm very happy that it's been growing. It's not that I don't welcome in success or hope for success for talented people. But if you can smell it right out of the gate, and you can see that some people are just really all about it from the get-go, the look, the flashiness, the curb appeal. I don't know. I would just watch out, because there's a lot of people who say they're doing good and they're not necessarily doing good. And I don't mean to throw shade on any specific person, especially the people that I've mentioned at all. I'm just saying in general, you got to kind of watch where your messages are coming from, because some people are on here. It's like they're too professional, too quick, is what I'm saying. And it's scary, a little bit scary. Now, some people do have a background, right? They do. They have a background in video, or maybe they understand YouTube a little bit better. But damn, to have those kind of like professional sets from the get-go is like, who's backing you? Like, where are you getting that from? Like, I don't know. I honestly don't watch any other. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, sweetheart. And feel free to do it. Please. I appreciate it. But definitely watch other astrologers, but just make sure that you watch good ones. Good ones, especially ones that had been on here for quite some time, when YouTube wasn't a thing yet, when YouTube wasn't big and popular and everybody didn't want to be a YouTuber. Check out those guys because they really just wanted to share what they loved. They weren't even doing it to make money. They weren't even making much money. They really just wanted to share what they loved. And that's coming from a good place. If somebody is there to share what they love, then they're coming from a good place. They're coming from a good place. You don't understand it, okay? Oh, well, that's good. Hey, Sharon. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Hey, Stephanie. Has dragged me through it, especially since March. Happy birth. Are you a Taurus, Stephanie? Because I know Taurus has been getting dragged a lot. Yeah, you're a Libra. Okay. Oh, that's interesting because Venus has seen a lot of rough patches this year, especially over the summer, where she was, I think, in opposition to Saturn for an extended period of time. It was tough. It was tough. Taurus North Node, though. Okay, so you'll be feeling it because the North Node is in Taurus now. So this is your North Node return. So this is going to be a very difficult 3 years for you. Not 3 more years, but like leading up to it, it's about 18 months the North Node is in one sign, and then a little while afterward, you'll still feel the energy. So it's about 2.5 years that you're going to really be feeling. There's a lot of stress. Watch where your North Node is because that's going to be that pressure of that check-in. Like, if you haven't moved out of your comfort zone, I'm going to shove you out of your comfort zone. And that's what the North Node return does to you. And it does put people under a lot of stress. Absolutely. And so even though you're not a Taurus sun, no matter. What matters is that you're going through your North Node, your nodal return, which I think is about 18 years. Every 18 years that happens. Yeah, Venus was under a lot of stress during the summer. I'm actually surprised a few relationships I know made it through because it was under a lot of stuff. It was under a lot of shit. And so the relationships that made it through really are strong. I'm sorry that your summer was so bad. It was a tough summer. Leo season especially. Like Leo season is supposed to be so happy and abundant you expect it to be, but the sun, I think, was opposite Mars, or it could have been also squared. It had some really difficult aspect the entire time. And then Venus, which is another benefic, was also under duress during that time. So it was like the joy and the happiness and the abundance you expect in summertime it was almost like the message was like, well, grow up. Life ain't always easy. It was like the tough love from the universe that was coming through. Because Saturn was really, really, really causing a lot of tension at that time. So I would say, especially from late July through September, it was tough. So here we are, though, much less stress, I got to say. It is. And things are working themselves out. Let's get into, well, yeah, I was going over this. Let's get into the cards. Let's start the reading, shall we? What don't I want to close because it's still uploading? Yeah. Okay. Oh, God. For the next 24 hours, God, what do you have to say? What do you want to say? What do you want us to know? Oh, things are going to happen quickly. Maybe there are a lot of opportunities coming in, but life is speeding up. Oh, sunshine is here. So there's some sort of happiness and abundance and success. Now, swiftness and the sun, quick success. I just said to you, nothing is going quickly. So it's not you that's making this happen. If there's real happiness that comes in, it's in other words, I always tell you guys, take authority over your own life. what I'm recommending with the authority you take over your own life this week is to slow it the fuck down and be very, very careful and cautious. Or practical. Be very practical, rational. If there's something that's coming in like that, it's because the universe wants you to have it. And these two cards together imply that there is some success, or that we want success quickly, or that we've tried to make success happen quickly. We're going to get into the rest of the cards to see what they say about it. But this two right here says there's some sort of swift breakthrough that's coming. And remember, that's how Saturn works. Okay? Saturn will bust your fucking balls. But if you maintain and make it through, Saturn is the most rewarding planet ever. Because by that point, if you can deal with my shit, you deserve the best. I know your quality. So it could be that some of us have some really wonderful things coming in because of the hard work that we've done. And that is where all of the good stuff that's going to happen this week is going to happen to us by the work we've already put in. That could be real revelations coming in, real happiness coming in with the work we've done. You're going to see major breakthroughs. But then we get the Eight of fucking Swords. So we have the Eight of Wands, the Sun, and then Eight of Swords, which is this success could actually take you away from people or isolate you, or you rushed into something because you wanted something successful and it's going to end you being alone. It's going to be isolating. Let's see. Let's keep going. Prince of Cups. So this is the new moon. This is the offer, a love offer, an offer of love or an expression of love. It's almost like in some ways we may have felt alone, or this could have been an opportunity that we felt people had rejected us from or walked away from us. But the truth is, with that Prince of Cups, not so much, especially for those of us who have been restricted or separated from relationships or love, or for people that we wanted to feel close to. We're going to actually learn how much they love us this week. Judgment. There's a judgment here. Major Arcana in your favor that is going to kind of resurrect you. The Ace of Wands is the central energy, which means creativity, something that we've created, something we've initiated, something that we're interested in, a new level of inspiration. This reminds me, I got to make a phone call. So it's almost like a surprise call. I will say that. It's like a surprise call. Seven of Pentacles is here, which is failure. It's we've tried. Nothing ever came through. And yet we persevered. And the reason why we persevered, like I was talking about before a little bit, the reason why we persevered is because we loved it. You know, we proceeded with love. Like, why else would you proceed if everything else is going wrong? You know, it's just this sense of, I'm doing it because I love it. I'm with you because I love you. I'm here because I love being here. There's no expectation on the other side except that this is where I belong. Right? Something coming up from the past. The High Priestess came out, and then cards started falling on the floor. High Priestess is here saying there's a new moon. There's two new moons here. So between two new moons, something might pop off today. It's also divine timing. When the High Priestess shows up, she's basically saying, you know, it's not all about you. You can't make all this snap into place yourself. Sometimes it's about the cosmos and divine timing. Hold on. Okay. I love it. Okay, so this is in the past. This is interesting because it's coming up in the past. Some sort of hard work that you've done. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like taking too much on, or you've been alone too long and you've been trying to do too much by yourself. You've been lonely too long, or you've been trying to do too much too long. You by yourself, like thinking, oh, I got to do it all by myself. Or maybe you started out by yourself with backbreaking work, right? So this is something that you have really, or it could be some sort of workman's comp type of thing that you put in for a while ago, but it's almost like it came out so in the past. It could be way back in your childhood or dharma, so like past life, a sense of you'd wanted to do this work, but before you could get it done, you broke. And the reason why is isolation. You tried to do it all by yourself. We talked about this yesterday. Well, the Hermit is here, which means spending time by yourself, healing, and slow and steady dedication. So it's not trying to do everything all at once to prove your value, but instead knowing your value and having faith in your purpose enough to say, I'm going to do this Monday. I'm going to do this Tuesday. I'm not going to push myself. I'm going to commit myself to doing this every single day. And it is saying that tenacity, that steady devotion is what's really being appreciated today. So the abundance that's coming into your life that you thought you lost out on is coming from something you have been very steady, tenacious, and committed to. We have justice here, which means something that balances out. Finally, you get justice. In other words, a decision is made that it's like the universe is balancing things out for you. There's a decision that's made that favors you. Justice. Libra. Balance. Balancing out. Maybe it's the day that you find that you're able to finally balance out how hard you're working. How do I explain it? It's something that I realized it's something that I realized. I'm just making this example because it's not all about me, but I'm making an example personally so you kind of understand what I'm talking about. I'm writing a novel. It is called 96. Currently, it is over 1,000 pages long, and I haven't even finished the final book. So it is written in trilogy, but it is one story. I'm not an author. I've never done something like this before. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And what I realized was I pushed my book out there when it was in its beginning phases, and I got rejected hundreds of times. I think I really started dedicating myself to writing it when I stopped feeling like I had to get it done by a certain time. I kept telling myself, if you don't finish it by the time you're 42, it's not meant to be. I kept telling myself, if you don't get it out by the end of the year or have a publisher by this time, it's not meant to be. And I'm like, as soon as I took that pressure off myself and I said, I'm going to get this right. Whenever it comes out, it's meant to come out. But I didn't just say, here, universe, take it and write my book for me. From that point, every single night, I read, edit, or write at least 3 pages. It's slow and steady work. But 2 times 365 is over 700 pages by the end of the year. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like take the pressure off yourself that you feel like you have to rush to be successful. Real success is built over time. And I know it's like, because I felt it the whole time, is like, what if somebody writes a book like my book or steals my idea, or something like that. And it's just like, or, trumps me, gets to telling a similar story. I'm like, shut up. You got to just fucking write your story. Write your story. It's going to be unique because it comes from you. It's going to be unique because it's you doing it. If it's a relationship, it's going to be unique to the two of you. Don't let anybody pressure you. Oh, you got to have kids. You got to have kids. When are you guys getting married? It will all happen in divine timing. as long as you commit yourself to it daily, is what these cards are saying. And it's sort of like the breakthrough moment when you realize that. When you take the stress off of yourself, you're breaking your fucking back, trying to do everything, and it could break you. What the universe really wants to see, especially today, and what it's going to be rewarding today, is what you have decided, oh, no. Real faith is knowing it will come in time. Is knowing I'm going to be around to see what I've committed myself to come to fruition. That's real faith. If you really believe in something, you don't have to rush it. You don't have to rush your relationship. You don't have to put pressure on your spouse. You don't have to put pressure on what you've been creating. You don't know. If you know that you're going to be a millionaire someday, you don't have to rush it. You build it with integrity, because then it lasts. Then it's not a lottery win, right? Then you know exactly where that money came from. And if you lose it, you can build it again, because you don't only have it, you have the experience and strength that actually makes you deserve it, right? I talked about this a lot. Universe wants you to have the blessings, but it doesn't want to plop these blessings, because blessings are responsibilities too. They have weight. So there's a sense of, it doesn't want to plop these responsibilities in your hand when you're not strong enough to carry it. It's like when you build day by day, slow and steady, you are building the strength to shoulder the blessing. And that is really what we're learning today. And the last card that came out was the Four of Swords, is reflecting on all you've been through. Reflecting on all the stuff that you've done, and through that reflection, rectifying a current feeling or regrets or fears, rectifying them by realizing, wow, I'm a lot further along than I realized, or I came a lot farther than I realized, and I have done a lot more, and I'm way more successful than I'm giving myself credit for, just because I'm still here. You know? It's easy to get sloppy at the end of the race. It is so difficult to focus because you're so exhausted and you're so tired, and you want to rush things. So you're going to try on weary legs to speed yourself up. Bullshit. That pace has worked for you. It's gotten this far. Let that same steady pace take you that last meter, because it's important. Maintenance of the effort is like 100% of success. And I think that week, that's what this week is trying to teach us. And that's definitely what the cards are speaking to. You know, it's like, take some time today to reflect on how far you've come and how much you've learned as you went through all that shit. And that's going to give you the solace and tenacity to stick with it when you really want to just rush, because we really want to just rush to success right away. Just, no, don't do it. Be slow, be pedantic, and only put yourself out there if the quality is there. And if it's not, know that it will be there, because you're working on it every single day, and you won't compromise your standards. This is really important energy today. Let's get into the moon card, shall we? Shall we? Don't let pride get in your way. Word. I mean, I feel like all I did was talk your ear off for 20 minutes, and this card came out and said it in like a sentence. Pride is what's going to push you to breaking. I'm prideful, so it's got to be done in this many years. I'm prideful, so I've got to have $1 million before I'm 35. That's bullshit. Don't let pride get in your way, because success is yours through faith. Also, don't let pride get in your way by not allowing yourself to open up to the opportunities in front of you that may not be the same thing you expected them to be, but the universe doesn't always give you your blessings or give you the stepping stones to your blessings in the way that you expected. But that's also faith. Faith is leaving the conversation open with God. It's allowing God to have a part in the conversation. It's not all how you expected. And pride could be a real problem this week. Real stubbornness, especially with Jupiter semi-square to Uranus. There's a sense of real stubbornness. This is the way that I want to grow. This is the way that I want to expand. Okay, well, I want to do it differently than you just because I feel like you're forcing it on me. Pride. Bullshit. Don't let pride get in your way. If you failed before, but it still matters to you, don't let pride on the path. I don't want to feel that again. I don't want to suffer through failure again. But that's success. Whoever can suffer through the failure and learn from it is the successful person, right? So there's a sense of don't let pride get in your way in any of its capacities today. It will be a big challenge for us, being prideful. And those of us who succumb to it will get into some scuffles, hopefully not physical. After everything that's happened in the last, hey, Key, God bless you. Awesome. Yes. It's always hard and the most surprising. Send your query letter. Me? Oh, I did send out one, but another one, because I'm also creating a tarot deck. And the drawings are just so beautiful. And I'm so psyched by them. Maybe I could show you one. Because my son's girlfriend is an exceptional artist, and so she's doing the illustrations for me. And I could show them to you. Maybe show them to you. Maybe just to share them with you a little bit. They are illustrations. I wanted them to be like tattoo style because of my tattoo on my back. Okay, so these are two of my favorites. So we have the three of swords. Is that gorgeous? I mean, the direction she took that was exceptional. It was beautiful. But it has that tattooy kind of feeling to it. It is gorgeous. And then there's the Judgment card, which I love as well. This is Major Arcana. But you see it has that tattoo watercolor kind of feeling to it. I know there's a tattoo deck. It's not specifically like that. It's watercolor. It is great work. Just absolutely beautiful, beautiful stuff. There's some editing that has to be done on this one, but this would be the Strength card. I mean, I'm so psyched by it. I can't even fucking tell you. We've been working on this for months. And it just gets better the more you go through the cards. But I got to tell you, it's like Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying? Is like if you don't go slow and you try to rush it, then you don't represent. You don't represent. There's some things that you have to take time in. And there's a lot of background work. We always look at success as the point when you actually get the money in your hand. Hey, sweetheart. Or you get the opportunity that you've wanted. That's not it. Success is all the work you've done leading up to that point. I think it was Jay-Z that said everybody wants the award, but nobody wants the work that earns the award. It's like, yep, pretty much. Yeah. So we've been working on it for a long time. And I'm just really psyched by it. I can't wait. But even querying, that is a fucking process, man. I don't know shit about it. I did a podcast with Elizabeth Akins, who is in publishing. So we're going to meet. She's going to give me some advice. It's like, really, let me put it this way. It is the time to open up and say, I need help, because I've taken myself as far as I can possibly go. And now, what do I do next? Like, it is definitely a time to learn. Definitely a time to learn. Saturn actually likes to learn. Appreciates it. Appreciates it. Let's get these angel messages. Actually, there's one that came out, but hold on, I want to get you this. So I'm super psyched by that. It will be the Born Without Boundaries tarot deck, and in really exceptional work. I'm psyched. I'm psyched. Just have to take my time. I'm at a point, I'm talking to myself as I'm talking to you. I'm at a point where I want to just rush in, right? I want to just send it out. But I know from my past experience, you can't just send shit out. You got to send it in the right format. You got to double check. You got to edit that letter. You got to edit that package. You got to make sure the package is what the publisher wants to see or what they've asked to see. And you've got to make sure what you're presenting to them is quality. And if I rush into it, I'm going to fuck it up. And I don't want to fuck it up because I love it. I love it. So I'm not rushing, dude. I'm not rushing. Control issues. So fucking funny. Utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing that others may try to control you. And that's what I was talking about, pride. Utilize your power. Don't underestimate your power. Don't underestimate your talent by trying to jump the gun so somebody will see you. If you really believe you're talented, then you continue to work that talent and people will be drawn to you. They will be drawn to you. We do actually make our own opportunities. Very important. Now let's see what this angel card has to say. Harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. Day by day, step by step. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me for the past almost 50 minutes. I really appreciate your company and your support and your words of encouragement, as well as you sharing your stories and opening up. It matters. You matter. And I'm so glad I could be a little part of your day. I'll see you guys in the videos. Scorpio, Libra, and Sagittarius, you are up. You will definitely be up. At the latest, by 2 p.m., I think is the latest. The last one goes up. No, maybe 1 p.m., but 1 p.m. on the East Coast. So it's going to be earlier in the day. If you're where I am, if you're on Pacific time or Central time, it's going to be even earlier. But by 1 p.m., they're all up. They're all up, and I hope you really do enjoy them. We had such a beautiful start and push last week with that gorgeous new moon. And those effects don't wear off. It's just... We could talk to Marby about this. She just had the baby. I mean, it's the most wonderful thing you could ever have, but then there's a responsibility of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I have my baby in my arms and this is the best moment of my life. And then it keeps you up all night and it has to eat every 3 hours and it's shitting itself. So even the most beautiful things in your life have reality, right? But if we remember the blessing in the reality, we never lose the feeling of that glow, of that blessing. We always are reminded of how blessed we are. Just to be able to change this diaper is a blessing. Just to be able to be exhausted and get up for that nighttime feeding is a blessing. It's like to do the work is a blessing. And I don't want to like bring in celebrities and stuff, but I really do admire Dwayne Johnson. I think he's a lovely man. And he said something to me that really impacted me. He didn't say something to me. yeah, like he called me. No. He had said something on one of his videos. He said, my life changed a great deal. I'm paraphrasing here. When I stopped thinking I have to go to work today, and I started thinking I get to go to work today. I get to do this today. I get to do the work today. I get these opportunities instead of like that grudging, oh, I have to. Because even a blessing like reading tarot cards for a living is a blessing. I mean, that's a blessing. That I could pay any type of rent with this shit is a blessing, right? But the fact, but even I would get into, oh, I gotta do fucking Scorpio. I gotta do it because I know how important it is. But it's like, no, I get to do Scorpio. I get to do Libra. I get to read the charts for Sagittarius this week. I get to do this. And it's like I love that he said that, because it really helps me change my mindset to, you know, the day-to-day chores that Virgo teaches us about. Find the blessings in the day-to-day chores, because if you can't find the blessings in the day-to-day chores, you're really doing the wrong thing. Really are. And then you change course to do something where you will find the blessings in the day-to-day chores. You know, that, because that's our life, is day to day, hour by hour, minute by minute. It's not just the highlight reel, you know, the 2-hour Hollywood true story, right? It's not that. That's not what it is. I get to suffer through this cold, but come online today. I get to maybe even fail today and learn from the failure. I get to. It puts you in the mindset of gratitude. And I told you, gratitude, if gratitude is your attitude, success will be your life. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being on with me. I hope to see you in the videos, and I'll see you here tomorrow.